What's up, witches? How we doing? Welcome, everybody. Um, hi, everybody. I will make this really quick, because I don't know if I've ever canceled or not participated in a book club meeting before. Like since we've started, I can't even recall, maybe once or so before. But I need to bow out of today's meeting, and I just wanted to hop on really quick and just talk to you guys about why, and just let you know what's going on and everything, because you guys know I love this space and really look forward to these meetings, and was doing everything I could to get myself in a good place to be able to facilitate the meeting. And I just realized that I'm not in that place right now, and I don't want to force it or fake it or anything like that. But I wanted to open up the Zoom room and open up the space, in case you guys wanted to talk about the book amongst yourselves without me. I want to leave the space open, probably well, for as long as you guys needed it, but certainly for at least a few minutes, for folks to chat. As some of you know, my husband and I are getting a divorce. This is something that's been a long time in the process. I asked for the divorce in very early 2020. And it's been a long road, many years of therapy, and that was super beautiful and super helpful. I'm very grateful that we did that, because I feel like we both grew immensely as people and really needed it. I hadn't had therapy since I was in middle school or something like that. So I really needed it, and I'm really grateful. But of course, it's, sad, and something to grieve. So this weekend, I was visiting my family and in Charleston, and he and I, my husband and I, made the decision that it was time to really start to try to separate things officially. And so this weekend, he moved out most of his furniture into a new apartment. And it's actually really good news, because this is the result of a very successful banishment spell that I casted some months ago. Hi, Linda, welcome. Kind of a weird meeting today. Just updating everybody that my husband sort of officially moved out this weekend into his own place. It's something that I wanted. It's actually something that I casted for, because it felt like it was taking a really long time for it to actually happen. And we had a different outlook on how this should all play out. And of course, I wanted to make sure that things worked out, not to his detriment in any way, but in a way that left me secure, left me with housing, left me in a good space. And so I decided to cast for this. So from a magical perspective, yay, because this definitely goes in the successful spell column. And it only took a few months for it to completely come to be. And it's all come to be actually even better than I had asked for, financially and otherwise. So I'm really happy for it. But, I got back from my trip yesterday. And if you could see behind the computer screen, it's a half empty apartment, and there's no furniture. And so it's just a little hard to do my usual things. So that was why I just felt like I couldn't really sit and chat about the book, even though I enjoyed it. This was actually my second time. I listened to it on Audible. The first time I had read it a few years ago. And I decided to just listen to it again. And there were actually a lot of really useful healing moments in listening to the book about this. So it was very relevant and I was really grateful that it happened, but I just felt like I couldn't really like get through a whole, meeting and facilitate it the way that I normally would. So I want to apologize for that, but I wanted to come on and like let you guys know what was going on instead of just being like, book club is canceled. And I wanted to thank you guys for your patience and your understanding. And Linda, what I was saying when I first started was I want to leave the Zoom room open after I turn my camera off so that you guys can share with each other your thoughts on the book, or just, have the opportunity to be in community with each other for a little bit. And I'll leave this going as long as you guys want. I think whenever you leave, like it will just end after everybody leaves. So I wanted to do that. I wanted to also let you guys know that for sure we will have a November meeting. I am excited. I knew Betty was going to have her copy. I was like, let me be ready. I'm excited for this one. You guys may or may not know Rachel Pollack has been just a huge influence in the tarot community. If you're in my coaching program, we're talking about divination for the next 2 weeks. And divination to me is just like super central to everything that I do. I knew that this would be happening, as shocking as it is. I knew because of going to Spirit with my cards, I knew that this would be happening around this time of the year, and to prepare myself as best I could. So divination is huge for me. Rachel Pollack's really important. And she passed away this year. So it's very special, I think, to me, especially around this time of year, as the veil is thinning, as people are connecting to their elevated ancestors. I thought it wasn't really intentional. So I thought it was kind of a very happy and special accident that we'll be reading this book, starting now and going into next month. And of course, copies are available at the shop if you haven't already gotten yours. And I'm looking forward to, coming back next month and to be like fully ready to go and not surrounded by like boxes and all kinds of craziness, so that, I can really be fully present for you guys. In case you guys find yourself with, the evening free, because we have an abbreviated meeting, I wanted to share with you that Alexis and Blaze decided to try something that I think is really cool, called the Coven's Corner for this community. It's kind of like a podcast type web series, but basically the plan is for Alexis and other witches in the shop to sit down periodically, maybe once a month. They're still figuring out a schedule, but to like kind of share with you guys the conversations that we get into in the shop, because being that we spend all this time together, like we have incredible conversations that we're always just like, man, I wish somebody was recording this, like really cool things between us or guests that come into the shop and things like that. So they're going to try to like capture some of those conversations. So if you are looking for more connection with the community this evening, their episode it was live in the Thinkific Coven community, and is now available on the YouTube channel. So you can head over to BronxWitch HQ on YouTube to watch that episode. It's like an hour or so, and it's pretty cool. And they like made a little set for themselves and everything like that. So I thought that was
really fun. I can't wait.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I always wonder, I'm so jealous, because I want to be there, but it's like, what goes on there? What goes on?
No, I can't lie. It's definitely the biggest blessing ever, for somebody like myself who's been solitary for so long and didn't have witchy friends for, most of her life, to now in the last few years have all of these other local witches that are so much like me and have similar stories, actually physically like present with me and be able to connect in person, and like just the coolest things come up. And we have these little like improv impromptu rituals that will happen, and certain spirits will like make themselves known. It'll be like, oh, I had this dream about it. Be like, oh, you dreamed about that too. Like it just like wacky stuff that happens like when witches get into a room together. We have meals together. It is really awesome, and we
The
often
energy
talk
must
about.
be, I mean, beyond magnifying. Like I could just imagine, I will make it there one day. You know, I
Yeah.
will. You
Yes,
know,
yes,
I
yes.
will.
I know you will. I know you will. And it really does happen that way. Like I feel like we have been brought together for a reason, because a lot of the things that we are going through or have gone through are similar. And so we end up accidentally like reading for each other, giving consultations to each other, like helping each other with all types of things. You know, I recently decided to take a break from cannabis, and one of the shop, which is Leslie, I didn't know this, has actually been sober for 2 years on a sobriety journey, and I had no idea. And like, not good on me to like make assumptions about people, but she is here from this neighborhood. We do live in the hood. It is a lot of cannabis smoking that goes on recreationally around us. And so you kind of just assume that everybody does. So I definitely just assumed that she did. So when she was like, I've been sober for 2 years and this is how I did it, and these are the reasons why, I was like, very much assisted by her and her story. And we just have a lot of stuff like that that happens. So our energy gets magnified. And it's also just kind of like, a lot of times when people come to the shop, the thing they often say is like, I don't want to leave, because it just feels so like peaceful and welcoming here. And that's because everybody is the same. Like we've all been looking for a place where we can feel welcome. And we certainly don't always agree on everything. We all have different traditions and practices and things like that. But it's a place where we can share with each other with no judgment. And I'm really grateful for that. And it's been really awesome. And so when Alexis had the idea of trying to capture some of the conversations that we have like in video form so we can share it with the virtual Coven, that seemed really cool. So I was really glad that she was able to pull it together and take care of the tech stuff for the first episode. And I'm definitely excited for there to be many more episodes. So I just wanted to let you guys know that that's there. It's up on the YouTube channel in case you have some time this evening and want to check it out. But otherwise, I think that's kind of all for me. Yeah, Betty.
I have to, because
Yeah.
you have to be a proud mama, right? Because
Yes.
you're my mama witch, you know that. I made some fire cider.
Yay!
I
If you
followed your
don't have
recipe.
mystery jars of stuff in your house, like, are you
No,
witching?
Marlene knows
Like,
what it is.
come on.
She's getting some. We've both
Yes.
been down with the bugs. So this was like, this is definitely happening.
Yes.
And my delivery person on the weekend, I said to her, I said, do you know what the ingredients might be for? She goes, it looks like fire cider. I'm like, okay.
Yes, it's become a very popular type of herbal medicine because it's just so accessible. You know what I mean? Like you probably have everything in your kitchen if you do even the littlest bit of cooking for yourself at all. You probably have all the ingredients, and of course you can freestyle and get crazy with it and add all kinds of things. But like to make
Yeah,
a
the
basic
pineapple wasn't
batch.
looking too happy, so I went with just some apple.
Yeah, I do apple a lot. That's what's in my current batch now. For this time of year, it's easy to get your hands on apples, but like,
Oh, thanks, Mom.
basically just like orange, garlic, or sorry, onion, garlic, ginger, jalapenos, or some other type of chili.
Now,
And
I don't
vinegar.
do hot. I like spice, but I don't do hot. So
Yeah.
this will have a whole lot of honey.
Yes. Yeah. Honey is the key for sure for making it go down easier. I probably use like more honey than you're supposed to, but like whatever. I like to go heavy on the honey too. And yeah, and you can play around with the heat level too. Because like not every jalapeno is spicy. So that's why I like to use jalapenos, because there's usually like a couple in the batch that taste more like a bell pepper than anything
Yeah, and I took the
else.
seeds and the veins out.
Yeah,
so
always.
The heat factor would be
Minimal.
lower.
Yeah, I always, even though I do like spicy stuff, I still take the seeds and stuff out because if you leave that in, it can just be like too much. But you can also go with just like a little sprinkle of cayenne, right from your spice rack or something like that, as well. Anything with a spice is going to give you the capsaicins that's going to help with like opening things up and, help clearing out the cold.
Yeah. And because it's been like almost 2.5 weeks, it was horrible.
Mm.
And I'm not a fan of turmeric, but I think it'll be disguised enough in here that I won't even taste it.
Yeah, I put a ton of turmeric and I never taste it. Like I never really taste it at all. So I think, and then also you can play around with like going with using like whole turmeric root versus the seasoning. I feel like if you use the seasoning, you get more of the flavor because it's kind of like, that's what it's for. It's for a seasoning. But if you use the root, because roots are hard, it doesn't extract as much of the turmeric out. And especially if you're seasoning, like you might not have access to like organic seasoning and stuff like that. You might want to use the root because it's a little less tampered with or less like maybe mixed with other stuff and things like that. But yay, I'm glad that you made your fire cider. I'm excited. My virtual class is going to be coming to the portal in November. I can't remember the launch date. And then I'm teaching the class in person at the shop on November 11th. So in the next couple of weekends, I'll be doing an in-person workshop for people who want to come and make a batch. I did it last year and it was a lot of fun. So everybody got to walk, leave with their own batch. And one of my friends who was at the workshop last year, she had a genius idea. So if you guys have dehydrators, you might do this. But after she strained it, she took all of the, mushed veggies and she put that in her dehydrator and completely dried it out and ground it up into a seasoning. And she gave me a batch. So I have like fire cider seasoning that I've been sprinkling on my like steamed vegetables and stuff.
I
It's
said to
great on
Marlene, because
rice.
everything in it, Marlene loves, right? Like
Yes.
massively. So I said, oh, you could probably keep the pulp and use it for cooking, but
Yes.
dehydrate it like I did for my garlic salt. Good idea.
Yeah. I would say you could use it as like a stock. Like if you like to make vegetable stock, you could probably throw that right in a pan with some water and get the rest of the flavors out of it and make like a nice veggie stock for yourself. But if you have a dehydrator and can dry it out, then you could, dry the whole thing and just grind it all up into a seasoning. And that's what she did. And I was so grateful she gave me a batch. So like witches helping witches, you know what I mean? She was like, you helped me make it. So I'm going to give you a batch of the seasoning. So that was really cool. So, okay. Well, I want to thank you guys so much, like I said, for your patience and understanding and bearing with me for like needing this night to kind of like, I feel like I just need to like, I really just need to put things together, like back together a little bit so that the place doesn't look so abandoned. I think that's what's making it feel so empty and like kind of intense for me. So once I move some things around.
Did you do some energy cleansing or anything?
I am definitely going to do that tonight. I'm definitely going to do that tonight. Right now I need to like literally clean. There's just like bags of trash everywhere from like, him cleaning out drawers and closets and stuff and old things. And there's a lot of like sentimental stuff like hanging around right now. Like our entire wedding box is like sitting like right over there with everything in it. We haven't gone through like who's going to keep what, or are we throwing it all away? So I think I need to like just put that away until we deal with it. So it's not just like in my face. So it's just like stuff like that. I just need to kind of like clean up in here. I have a big day tomorrow. I'm going to be on BronxNet TV again, which is like a local TV channel to talk about the shop and stuff, which is exciting. The episode airs on Halloween. So they were like, can you wear a costume? So I got to get my mind right so that I can like wake up at 7 and like put a costume on and like go talk to people and smile and stuff. So I just felt like that wouldn't happen if I didn't give myself enough time to like reset everything. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm probably going to take a spiritual bath, early in the morning and like just, reset the place, fire up my altars and
take care of you. Take care of you.
Yeah. Spend time with my ancestors. Because whenever I go out of town, I usually do this thing where I like put my altars to sleep. So rather than just like neglecting them, I like wash everything and I leave all my glasses and bowls and everything upside down. And this was a tip that I got from Grecia Ordonez. And she was like, oh, you can, kind of put your altars on pause or put them to sleep. And I kind of like turn everything upside down and kind of have like a last, ritual with them and say like, oh, I'm going to be gone for a week. I'm not going to be here for our usual day or what have you, rather than just leaving like the water and coffee and stuff to get like old and moldy. It just kind of put everything away. So now that I'm back, I need to put all that stuff back out and reset the food and different things that I have. So I think doing that tonight will make me feel really good because I won't feel like I'm in here by myself. They'll be here with me. So that will be, really nice while I get used to my new life and my new normal. So thank you guys so much for understanding. I really, really appreciate you. I love you guys so, so much. Even though I felt like I wasn't sure I could even like do this. I'm really glad that I did, because just like seeing your faces, feeling your love, like makes me feel really, really, really good. So thank you guys so much. I'm not going to end the meeting. I'm just going to like mute myself and turn off my video. And I encourage you guys to spend time with each other, talk about the book if you read it and want to chat a little bit, or if not, about anything that you'd like. And I'm definitely looking forward to our meeting next month. Oh, and also I'm going to be posting, Crystal Blanton joined us for our meeting last month, and she had mentioned some articles and things about the topic of like minority voices in paganism and further reading. And she did email that to me. So I am going to pop that in the Coven news feed for you guys. And that is something that, between now and our next meeting, if you'd like some further reading on that topic, it will be available for you. So I should get that up pretty soon. So thank you guys so, so much. Have a good night. I love you all so, so much. And blessed be. Thank you for being here. Bye.
Hi, friends.
Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
it's going.
That's good. Hey, Linda, you're got to unmute.
You're
honey.
on mute.
I'm sorry, I'm just talking. I
That's
never
all right.
finished the book
How are
by
you?
the time we have this. So I'm still reading, but it's a great book.
Yeah, it was a good book. It was chunky. I ain't gonna lie. I probably had about 60 more pages to go. And as you guys know, my heritage is Indigenous, so I really gravitated towards this. This was something that I really wanted to dig into. And I liked how, she would, I think it's a she. Yes, it's a she. Yes, she, sorry. She would talk about like, a part of her personal experience. And then she would have it like where she would have the students in the school, like who she was teaching, they would go out in the field and do stuff. So it was very, even though I didn't touch it, it felt tactical, like like it was gravitating towards me. I just couldn't finish it because we ran out of time.
I like to say sometimes I feel like I like all the books. So far, there hasn't been a book that I didn't like. There may be parts that, I didn't like. For this one, it took me a minute to kind of get into it. But once now that I'm into it, and I have like half the book to go, so I still have, I just like the way she's taught, or she discovers how to interact with plants and other spirits. And it's just gives you another insight into that.
Yeah, I'm gonna vibrate those same sentiments, Miss Linda, because I didn't get very much reading done. I didn't even get to like halfway through, so I'm on like page 50. So I didn't have any time to read. But from what I could gather, the biggest thing that stood out to me is just it's magic in the mundane. Like she's doing somewhat of a mundane job, but she's found a way to incorporate like her heritage, the indigenous practices, and like the chapter on the offering with her dad and the coffee made me cry. I was like, oh God, they're connected with ancestors. Oh God. But yeah, it's very beautifully written. And I actually really do enjoy like the story format of it all. So it doesn't feel as I guess the word I want to say is generic as some of the other witchy books that are out there that go over plants. Like, this is the name of the plant, this is how you use it, this is how you it's a very lived in experience. It's very practical, but still very spiritual. And I love that from what I read so far.
And as you get on, you know, she's a botanist, so she knows all the technical mumbo jumbo. Like she knows it all, but she brings it down to an organic level, so we can. Okay, I get that. Okay. And then she gives some of the plant names. I'm like, there's no way I can even say that, but I get what she's talking about. Like, I get it. And it's cool that she doesn't use all the big terminology and lose us. You know?
Yeah. I agree. It was like reading the chapter on the strawberries. It was like I felt like I could have that same experience with the pine trees that are outside of my apartment. It was like what she was having with the strawberries in the field. Like, I love that. I love like the connectiveness of it. Sorry, can't talk tonight.
That I love, which is helping me when I work with plants, or I guess animism, period, to really feel the soul of those. So I'm really starting now to, like, when I work with something, to feel it. I'm starting like my own little, I guess you could say, grimoire on just plants, and not necessarily the connection that I read about, you know, like these do this. What am I feeling that this is for? And I kind of started this around the time I started this book, so it's really pretty cool.
I really enjoyed it because being I guess I'm a fourth generation, because it's my great grandfather who was indigenous. So I guess I think the fourth generation. It's all lost. Like there's no ancestors. They're gone, you know, and I don't know. And I'm in a different province, like a different part of the state, but I'm in a different province, really far from where they are. And I can't get the information that I want. So every little tidbit I can get from another indigenous person, you know, teaching about stuff, I'm like a little kid in a candy shop. I just want to take it all, digest it, can't get enough of it. I mean, you know, like, just like, oh my God, that is so good. That is so good. Like, oh my God. So I really enjoyed the book. The way she wrote it, it was, it wasn't a sexual book, but it was kind of a romantic way she wrote it. Like, it was like, I don't know. I just, it flowed and ebbed, you know, and it was like, I enjoyed the little stories and antidotes, and who had used it, and where that plant came from, and who were the people on the land, and all of that. And then, you know, near the back, they get into some other things, and it's like, yeah, this was a really good book, and a great reference book on certain particular trees and things like that, because, you know, we don't know where they come from, you know, and I like that she tells us, like, it shares that in the book. And it's kind of, it resonated with me because they talk about Haudenosaunee, and as you know, I live on Haudenosaunee land, and I'm probably like the border of it, because it went down Pennsylvania, New York, but it did come up and cross over into Canada, which was where I am. And I'm like, oh my God, that's where I live. Oh my God. So I was like having connective, I was like, okay, relating to certain things, you know? So that was kind of fun for me, because Haudenosaunee is mentioned multiple times throughout the book. And I'm like, oh, I feel connected, where I don't feel connected to my relatives. You know what I mean? So it's like, I enjoyed the book for my teaching of my culture, my heritage, and they're not my nation, but the indigenous folk had very similar practices of Mother Earth, Father Son kind of thing. They carried that across most platforms. We do in Wiccan and paganism, they were doing something right, and we pick things from that. I think, now in modern day, I think we have a lot of what they did. They did it. They already did it, and they were really smart, really, really smart. And then, the colonialists came in and they took so much from them, so much. Like, they're trying now, and I talk about in the further parts of the book, reclaiming the land. And that was very I kind of emotional when I read it, because so much was taken because they were here first. Like, so it was a good read for me. Really, really good. It hit on a lot of notes for me.
I feel it was definitely worth the read. I'm glad we all stayed on just to at least talk about it. My heart goes out for Allie, and I'm sending her love and positive energy to get through the night. And maybe we all can do that. Just send her love and positive
Yeah, lots of love to Allie as she goes through
Yeah.
this. Yeah, she needs
Been
a big
there,
hug.
done that, and I know that it gets raw. But I guess what I'm learning from a lot of these, I guess, with my practice, to me, reading and learning and studying is a part of my practice, pretty much.
It is.
Because it's in modern day, when you can't be always close to people, it's about the next best thing that you can do in this day and age.
Mhm.
So that is very much, and I just this just brought home the interconnectedness of life, of everything, of plants, of the land, of all of that. And I like, even when she was learning the language, her native language, how it all came to her one day that, like, some things are not nouns, they're verbs, and she didn't get it. And when she explained how that lit up with her, that these are verbs because they're living, the trees are living, these are living beings.
Not just an object. Yeah.
Right.
It's got
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
kind of really got to me. In a way, it's kind of some, when you get it, it's like, oh yeah, like an aha moment for you.
It's like a light
too.
bulb. It's like,
Yeah.
and I had a lot of those in the book, because
Yeah.
I've been on this journey now, goodness gracious, coming up 4 years. Like, this is great. I was on it way before. I just didn't know it was this direction. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm so, I can't show Allie my gratitude, because she's just taught me so much. I follow a lot of other channels and stuff, but I gravitate towards her. So my heart, for this, and we're all women. So I don't know anyone's lifehood, but I'm pretty sure we've all gone through some kind of heartbreak somewhere.
Right.
And it sucks.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah.
But I think her being there, doing what she has to do, getting things out of sight, so it's not a trigger, getting herself ready for tomorrow. I'm sure she'll be wonderful tomorrow. She's strong. I love that she's got the headquarters now, and she's got the younger witches there to support her. That's going to help.
And I'm telling you, having an altar, when you're going through a tough time, her connecting back to that, these are things that even when I was a Christian, I couldn't really connect the way I do now, for healing for myself.
Yes, absolutely.
So I feel like she will be okay tomorrow when she connects back to her ancestors and stuff. And it's something so, I don't know how to explain it, but it's very
and
healing.
she will, and each evening when she comes home for a couple of weeks, she's going to have she's going to deal with this, but each day will be a little tiny bit easier each day. And she's doing what's right for her, what she needs to do for her soul. So yeah, And I think it's important what she's going to do tonight. Yeah, because it will really help her set things back in alignment.
Yeah.
It won't be the same, but at least be in alignment. Like she'll be able to connect things a little bit better. It's shocking, like
Yeah.
it's been
Even
a
though
while
you've
for me,
known
but it feels like yesterday that I went through the same thing.
Yeah, well, that I've been through it. This is my third marriage, so I've been through it 2 times. But even though it's going to happen, it's still hurtful and stuff.
Oh,
But I will say that having your practice through a lot of things, I mean, you just you get over it and you heal in a different, more, you elevate after
you
that.
do. She's going to feel so much lighter.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll take a couple of days. She'll have to do her ritual. She'll have to set the altar. She'll have to get back into her, but she will feel lighter. She will feel lighter.
So
my dog is sneezing.
Is your dog, was that what that was? Well, that was pretty much for where I am in the book. I guess that's about all I can.
Yes. It was nice to chat with you guys. I'll see you next month.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys
I'm gonna go read the
there.
book. Actually, maybe I can finish it before I start the next one and be behind. Yes.
Well, I have this Friday, I'm going to a Mexican restaurant for a Della Mortis. We're going for dinner, my best friend and I, but they're having a celebration, and I have a book on that, and I have the Halloween the little book of, and I'm like, I can't read them. I can't keep up. So I think I'm going to take a break because I also have been beading and I have to finish a piece for my mother. So I think I'm going to take a break till Monday. No, maybe till the weekend, and then get back onto the book.
Yeah. Well, I'll
new
catch
book
up eventually. It'll be fine. I always come in a little bit late, but I feel like I read enough to get to know what everybody's talking about.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Have a great evening, guys, and happy Halloween. Happy Samhain.
Yeah. Happy Samhain.
It's the best season of the year.
I know. I love
the
this
most wonderful time.
It is. I try to explain it to people, and they're like, I'm like, I love Halloween. And it way before I took this direction.
Yes.
I have a witch's hat. I have a witch's cape. I've had it for years. So I obviously needed to come to this direction. Here,
I love this time of year, and I'm looking forward to it. And I do wear the hat and stuff. I enjoy it. It's a reason for me to wear.
I need to get one. I don't have a witch's hat yet. I need to get one.
Mine is just a child's. I think I got it.
Oh, this went to Mexico and won a costume party.
Wow, that's beautiful. I need to get a better one, but I decorated it with ribbon and stuff. But it was just a regular old child's.
Okay.
All right, guys. So see you next month. Happy Samhain. Happy Halloweening. Have a great weekend, guys.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.